Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make Nigerian meat pies. The British call them mince pies, but today we're going to be showing you how to make this one, and I love this snack so much. I'm going to show you how to make soft ones that the filling inside is so moist and it's absolutely yummy. So if you'd like to know more, definitely keep watching. So we're going to need a large bowl like this. Everything I used in this video is going to be shown in the description box below. So we're going to add 6 cups of flour to a bowl, or flour to a bowl, and then you add 4 tablespoons of sugar. I also like to add 1 large tablespoon of baking powder and then 1 tablespoon of salt as well. Then you want to ensure you thoroughly mix all your dry ingredients together, just so that everything is well spread. Then we're going to add in 500 grams of butter, which is literally like a pack of butter. Then I like to break it apart at first. Can you see me kind of slicing and chopping it up, just to ensure that it mixes easily into the flour mixture. So you want to add all of that, and then you guys, this is going to get a bit messy, so disclaimer. So you want to wash your hands definitely, and using clean hands you want to mix everything together, all the ingredients. We're trying to achieve a breadcrumb like consistency. Once that's done, you're going to break 3 or 4 eggs. I ended up using 4 eggs in this video, but I don't know why I didn't show that. But 3 eggs or 4 eggs, depending on the size of your flour mixture. And then you want to create a hole in the middle of the flour, as you can see me doing. This just helps you to be able to fold in the egg and everything easily. Then you add your eggs and then you fold it in with the knife or fork or whatever you want to use. I just try to do this from bottom up, just to ensure that I coat as much as I can as possible. And again, disclaimer, is going to get messy again, so we're going to drop the knife and then we're going to use our hands. So please ensure your hands are clean. We don't want to give anybody bacteria. After folding them in, people add water. I've seen some recipes where people add water, but I like to add milk instead. This helps my dough to be more tasty and better texture. So you want to fold the milk into the butter. Then on a clean surface, you want to sprinkle some flour, and then we're just going to knead the batter gently. Now, please be careful. We don't want to overwork the butter. Remember that the butter is really cold, and if you keep using your hands, all the butter is going to melt up, and then the dough or the crust or the pastry won't be as flaky as we want it to be. So just going to knead it lightly. Obviously this video is sped up, so it looks like I'm doing it fast, but I'm actually doing it really gently in real life. So after that is done, you want to place it back into the bowl and cover with a cling film. I usually place mine in the fridge for about 2 hours, but an hour is fine. But I like to leave mine for about just 2 hours because I make my meat pies in parts. Now, next thing we're going to do is prepare the filling. First of all, you want to chop up like onions, half a bulb. You don't want to use a whole bulb, but you can if you want. I just don't like too many onions in my meat pie. It makes it taste too Nigerian. And then I put 1 scotch bonnet. Trust me, it's fine. It's not going to be too spicy. It's going to even be barely spicy, just for it to have some type of tang. Then we're also going to use carrots for this, and I'm just showing you the size of the carrots. We don't want it too tiny. We want it sizable so we can still see it in the filling. Also the same size with our potatoes, but notice I'm boiling my potatoes. I like to boil mine first before I put it in the filling. Not completely done, just slightly cooked. After which we just take it off the burner so it stops the cooking process. Next thing we're going to do is, in a large wok, we're going to add some oil. You can use sunflower, vegetable oil, whatever oil you like, and just put quite a bit, and then we add our chopped onions to that and we just fry it for a wee bit. Once it's a bit like caramelized, we add the scotch bonnet. I told you it was just a little, and then you stir it up together. Then in minutes you just add your minced meat to it. Now I'm using 750 grams, but you can use 500 grams. This recipe makes 22 meat pies. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but this recipe makes about 22 meat pies based on the measurements I used. So you want to actually break up this minced meat apart. You want it to be like proper, like shredded. After which you just add your seasoning. I'm using knorr cubes. I'm using 2. Then I'll also add pepper and salt. With every seasoning that you add, that means the salt and the pepper and the cubes, you want to ensure that you stir everything in so that it's equally distributed in your filling. Once it's simmered a bit, you'll notice that it's generated some sort of stock, and once that's done, we want that. You definitely want to add your potatoes. You stir that in, and you also add in your carrots. Now you also make sure that everything is properly stirred in so that like every spoonful has carrots and potatoes in it. Now I'm just showing you the stock, but we don't want that it's too runny. So we're going to add 2 spoonfuls of flour or cornstarch, but I use flour in this video to thicken the sauce, and then you want to stir it in immediately. We don't want lumps. As soon as you add the flour, please stir it in. I'm just showing you again. Now it's thickened, it's not as watery as it was before, and that's perfect. So you just take it off the burner to stop the cooking process and put it on the side. Now to the fun part, we're going to make the actual pie. Now you want to take out the dough from the fridge, and as usual sprinkle flour on the surface. The reason why we're sprinkling this is just to ensure that the dough doesn't stick to the surface and it's easier to work with. Then I take a large knife. Can you see I brought out my rolling pin as well? And then I cut the dough into tinier chunks. You can cut into 10 or 12 or 8, however you're comfortable with. But I think I did mine into 8 or 10, I'm not certain. And you want to take one of those chunks when you're done, and that's the part we're going to roll out. You knead that a bit, and then you use your rolling pin and you roll it very well. You ensure that it's flat. You roll it from side to side. Are you noticing that as I'm rolling it, I'm turning it? Now in this video, I'm going to show you how I do 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then like that. Now we're going to use a saucer. This saucer helps me as a stencil. I just use it to cut it round, and it's just perfect. You can use a small bowl, but I just like using this. It gives me a perfect round shape, and it just works fine. Now I want to get us filling. Trust me, a full tablespoon is fine. You don't need more than 1 tablespoon. You put that at the center of your dough, and then you fold the dough into like half. You fold it over, and then you just use your hand to slightly pinch the edges, and you take a fork and you kind of indent it on the edges as well. I'm going to repeat this about 2 to 3 times so you can see exactly what I mean. Now we're just going to repeat the process, but you know the previous one I did only made 1 pie. So I'm going to roll out my dough in such a way that I'm able to get out 2 pies from just 1 rolling. So I just take my plate again as a stencil, I cut it round, take off the excess, place my filling in the middle, I fold it over, I pinch the edges with my fingers, do the same for the other one, take my fork, and then I just indent it. Now, we're not trying to pass an exam, it's just meat pie, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to look the same, but just try to make it look as similar as possible. I'm just taking them to a tray now. Now this one, I've rolled out my sheet in a way that I'm trying to get out 3 pies from 1 sheet as well. Now I notice the last one is not wide enough. Easy, I just take my rolling pin and I roll it out to the width I want. And then I do the same thing. Now notice in my filling there's a little bit of juice coming out. We actually want that. That's what keeps our pies really moist when they're in the oven, because they're going to bake for another almost an hour. So as usual, I just pinch them, and then I take my fork, I indent them, and that's about it. Now we're just ensuring that everything is sealed properly. I'm going to show you up close what I mean, so that the mouth or the edges don't open up when they're baking. Next thing we're going to do is glaze them. So we're going to use a baker's brush, a fork, and an egg. Just 1 egg is fine. Just want to whisk that properly, and then we'll use our baking brush. I told you I got everything I used to make this thing from Wilko, and you want to glaze it over your pies. I did about 2 trays, so this is just the first tray, and now this is the second tray. Now a lot of Nigerians poke their meat pies. I used to do that before, but I tried it without poking it, and I found out that there was no difference. My pies were pretty, they were smooth, and they were well cooked inside. To be honest, I don't get the philosophy behind it, but I think they did it because they always baked on high heat so that the thing doesn't explode or something. But yeah, we're going to bake ours on medium heat for about an hour or 45 minutes, depending on the quantity, and just leave it to bake. While it's baking, you obviously want to check it, and when it's done, you're going to have light golden brown fresh meat pies or minced pies, and so yummy. As you can see, meat is breaking apart so easily. Inside is moist. All my friends had good reviews. So this video, I really enjoyed making it. So please make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. Thank you so much, and please leave a comment below if you will be trying this out. Bye.